And the next one, we've got Negumereanu versus Ihor Poteria, and this is a fight I will admit that I have struggled with all week. I've really been looking into this fight, I've really been diving into it. I kind of brought it up in my early predictions. The pick is Negumereanu, and he is an underdog, but if you're picking Ihor Poteria, you're really gambling on this guy. Like, you're really gambling on him, and the way that I say that is we just don't know how good he is. We truthfully don't. You watch this fight on Dana White's Contender Series, and that's really the only way you can get a good grasp on this guy, because the level of competition that he's fought throughout his career is not comparable to the level that Negumereanu is, or the UFC fighters are in general. And what I mean by that is, you look at Ihor Poteria's record here. He's 20-2. He's on a crazy win streak, but in 2020, he fought a guy that was 0-2. 0-4, 0-3, 0-0. This is 2019 now, and in 2018 split decision win over a guy that's 17-18, and there's footage out there where he has been taken down to the ground and held there, and Negumereanu does have wrestling in his back pocket. I think he is going to look to use it here. And even then, like, his best win is over Lucas Sadowski. Lucas Sadowski is a very, very good fighter, and he's a slow starter, but I watched that fight, and Lucas Sadowski did not start slow, which is very interesting. But Ihor Poteria's striking, if I'm really going to describe it, or even his fight style in general, is he's just a wild striker. Like, he doesn't really have super great technique. Neither does Negumereanu. Both of these guys are wild strikers. Ihor Poteria is throwing a lot of hooks, he's throwing a lot of overhands. He's not really throwing technique, he's just throwing a lot of power. And when he does land the power, then he kind of closes up and he likes to initiate clinch control, and then I don't know, man. This is it's an interesting style. It's definitely something that could work. He definitely could catch the chin off Nick and potentially get a KO. But Negumereanu's taken a lot of big shots in his career. He has proven that he can deal with some adversity, like he did with Kennedy Nzechukwu. He's eaten a lot of shots. He ate quite a few shots against Alexa Kamer as well, but like the level of competition that he fought before the UFC was terrible as well, which is worth noting. But what I'm really trying to say here is, if you're picking Ihor Poteria, you're gambling on someone that we don't really know how he's going to look. Like Negumereanu, we've seen him in the UFC 4 times. We've seen him on a 3-fight win streak inside the UFC. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe the UFC probably wants Ihor Poteria to win because he's got such an exciting style. He's a pretty cool guy. You know what I mean? He's got a fun, wild striking, and maybe he could land something on Nick. But I'm picking Nick because I just can't trust Ihor here. I think Nick is going to look to initiate some grappling sequences, use the wrestling which he does have in his back pocket, and wrestle Ihor Poteria, put him on his back, and just kind of keep him there. I think maybe Nick wins a decision. I think he's only got one decision win on his entire career, but call me crazy, I'm going to pick him to win a decision here in this one here. I think he does take Poteria down, keeps him on the ground, uses the wrestling, and just wins a decision over Ihor Poteria here, who is coming in as a somewhat hyped up prospect from Dana White's Contender Series. So we'll see what happens there. It's a cool fight. I like it. If Poteria wins, then we know more about him, because that's the thing, we don't really know anything about this guy. 2 years ago he fought a guy that was 0-4, 0-2. I don't know, man. I just don't really understand how I'm meant to really trust that too much. All you can really base off Ihor Poteria is his Lucas Sadowski fight, and that only lasted 4 minutes. We'll see. I'm picking Nick Negumereanu. He's more proven to me. I've seen him in the UFC multiple times, obviously. He's fought 4 times there. He's on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC over not the greatest competition in the world, but over good competition. The win over Kennedy Nzechukwu has aged very well. Give me Negumereanu. I'm picking decision. I do think he's going to take Ihor Poteria down and kind of just keep him there for 3 rounds. I genuinely do feel like that's a good path to victory for him, and I think that is what he's going to do, because he does have wrestling in that back pocket if he needs to use it.